Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Padel Pulse Podcast powered by TSH Padel. The crazy Cancun P2 tournament is in the books. Coello and Tapia come up clutch. Triay and Brea do their thing. LeBurger, are they ready to take down the best of the best? All that and so much more. But before we start, I'm Yousef.
Hi, I'm Ismaeel.
Hey guys, I'm Haroon.
This is Padel Heaven. This is Padel Heaven.
Augsburger has fully arrived. He is the man. He's the man. He's the best player on the left in the world right now.
He's walking off like it's nothing. He's walking off like it's nothing. It's so disgusting how amazing that was.
You can tell that you're enthusiastic. You guys are helping the conversation move along, especially in English, which I think is very needed.
We have Miguel and Nuno. Welcome David Howe. Welcome Gonza and Nico.
Welcome to the podcast. See if Brazil.
Medina Murphy with us here today. Coach Nacho Porto.
Vamos, vamos, vamos.
Guys, the Cancun P2 tournament gave us so many stories, but as we are accustomed to, the Kings eventually prevail. Coello and Tapia take down Ismaeel, Lebrón and Augsburger in what I would call the best final of the year, maybe the best match of the year. You had LeBurger winning it. You were that close, but the Kings did it. What were your thoughts on what they did?
100% Yousef, I agree. This was an amazing tournament, an amazing final, and by far for me, the match of the year.
Yeah.
Because you had in this final 4 guys who I thought brought their best level to the match. I thought they all played incredible. And even if you look at the stats, they back that story up. Yeah. They were all amazing all throughout the match. Yes, there were certain critical moments where some players shined a bit more, but no, it was incredible level of padel. Those were 4 heavyweight boxers going at it for almost 3 hours of brutal padel from the heavens. It was really so enjoyable to watch because not only was it amazing, aggressive type of padel, which I love to watch, but also very creative because they all know that they have no room for error because they all can smash from anywhere. When have you seen a match where Juan Lebrón is the worst smasher on court? I think this is the only situation where this ever comes up. And Augsburger is starting to look like an absolute alpha. And Coello Tapia had to play their best today. Like, you know, sometimes they would win those finals against Chingalan. Coello shines, Tapia shines. I thought they both shined today. And they both were super clutch in the biggest moments. And it was just huge blow after huge blow. And incredible mental resilience from both teams at all times. In the beginning, LeBurger came out and they broke up one level. Like, okay, maybe we're going to see LeBurger go through this match, cruise through maybe. Boom, they broke back right away. And then we go to a tie break. There were breaks, break backs, mini breaks down. Incredible resilience. And then even that second set, LeBurger go down 4-love. And then they made it a set. It was 4-3 before Coello Tapia stole it. Final set. Coello Tapia go up 3-love. And then actually they were down a break point at 3-all. And yet they found a way to overcome that. And they went to install that 5-6 game. They stole it for the win. I thought it was an amazing level of padel. I really did. I thought it was the match of the year because they were all so aggressive. They were all so creative. I thought Tapia was amazing every time they needed a big point. He did not miss one smash today. Like, his smashes were incredible today. And Augsburger is starting to look much better and much more improved. I think Coello and Tapia, they were a little bit more agitated after losing their last final, so they came out with more hunger and resolve. But today was their best performance I've seen in a long time. Even against all their Chingalan performances, this for me was their best level ever. I really think it was their best level ever.
Oh my God.
It was amazing. I really thought it was an amazing showing.
Haroon, what did you see?
Yeah, it was awesome. For sure, it was awesome. It was spectacular. Like the variation with the, like, you don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know what this point's going to be like. You don't know what shot is going to come out of this player because they all can do everything.
Clue.
Like that's the beauty of it. They can all do everything. I didn't think Ismaeel was the best match of the year. I still don't want to crown it that title yet. I still loved that final Chingalan with Coello Tapia, that Clásico in Gijón. I thought that was also super fun.
There was no drama there. It was a straight sets match. There was no drama. This match had drama. It had all 4 players at their best. Coello Tapia were not at their best in Gijón.
Yeah, no, but I love the perfection. Like it's a different style. It's a different style. It's definitely not the same match that we're watching. But it was spectacular nonetheless. I thought that. To me, one of the things I was looking for with Augsburger and Juan Lebrón, like especially that matchup against Coello Tapia, how are they going to act? Like, are they going to choke? Are they going to unravel? How are they going to be like, in big moments? But I think that they were all playing their best. They were all having fun and enjoying their time, which is the best version of padel you could ever ask for. Because like that when they're having fun,
that's what I'm telling you. It was unbelievable. That's why it was the match of the year. They really were all playing amazing. Like there was no choke happening today. There was no choke.
So there's also something that some players talk about in various sports, like when you're playing so loose, you're playing so comfortable, like there's this state of flow. I felt that was the case with almost all of them. And Coello was unbelievable. Tapia was unbelievable. Augsburger, Lebrón, it was super fun. Congrats now to Tapia, having the most titles of active players on tour so far, 55 titles, beating Galan right now. So what an amazing feat. Now, like Sanyo is one of the goats of the game. He has 42, so they're already super young and passing him. Like, so crazy what we're seeing right now.
I think it was crazy, Yousef, and I think like it's underrated how tactically sound also Coello and Tapia were. They don't get enough credit for that.
No, they're always tactically sound, but. I know you guys are saying all 4 gave us their best level, but to me, one person shined the most, and it was Arturo Coello.
Coello was amazing.
I agree.
Because from the very first second of that match, Arturo Coello was not happy how that match ended in Gijón. And he could say, and if you ask him, he'll tell you I was the reason, because in that tiebreak in the second set, he's the one who decided to rush things. He's the one who made some mistakes that you don't expect from Arturo Coello. I think he had 5 errors in that tiebreak. But he decided, he's like, this is not happening. It's not happening in Cancun. And from the very first minute, he was locked in. And by the way, Haroon, you said they're having a good time and they're smiling. Tapia was smiling. Tapia was enjoying just the amazing paddle that they're all playing. But Coello did not smile for 1 second during that match because he was absolutely locked in. And he's the alpha that we all know him to be. And he showed us his best level this match. And he, like you said, Ismaeel, he had to bring his absolute best. Because on the other side of the net, Lebrón and Augsburger were making him work as hard as he's ever worked. There were no free points. You can't make a mistake with the lobs. You can't make a mistake with the smashes. He has leeway when he goes up against Chingo and hits that smash, right? Because it's not Juan Lebrón on the other side. It's not Augsburger jumping. But that's Arturo Coello. Arturo Coello knows how to bounce back, and that's why I had them as champions. And he bounced back like an absolute superstar, King Coello, for a reason. And that's exactly what he did. And I believe he was the reason that they were able to go on and become victorious. He led the way like the captain and the champion he is.
I like that point, Yousef, a lot, because Arturo, I told you, remember in that semifinal against Stupa and Yanguas, he was playing a much more aggressive, braver type of paddle, smashing more aggressive, going for it a little bit more. Yeah. And I thought today was the culmination of that because he was incredible. He had to play this aggressive, by the way, against Lebrón and Augsburger. He can't hold back. No. And when he went for his smashes, he was incredibly accurate.
The changlitazos, the volume.
Not just the smashes, the aggression, because he was forcing the issue today. He was forcing it, and they didn't have an answer many times. Yeah. And credit to you on that point. 40 winners from Arturo Coello today to 9 unforced errors. By far the best, highest plus minus.
He was insane.
But you could just watch, like, he was really on it today. There was a moment where he dipped in that second set and in the third when they went up 3-love and then Augsburger Lebrón caught them at 3-all. He did have a moment's dip and he lost. He pulled away from the trigger a bit. If you notice, there were a couple of errors because he didn't want to go for the smash. He went for the fake smash and he missed a couple times. He missed one bandeja or two. And I think he pulled away from the trigger, but then he got right back on it and they won.
Exactly.
But he's today, and I think this is also the commitment he has for this year. I think this is the trend I've noticed this year on this point, Yousef. Arturo Coello is playing with more urgency, aggression than we've seen before.
But I feel like he had the urgency, like, you know, I love when I watch players have these conversations within themselves on the court. And he missed, I remember, a forehand volley in the tiebreak in that first set. And he was very angry with himself, but it wasn't like, oh, I feel bad. It was, he's talking like, you need to do better and you need to improve. And that's what he kept doing. And then in that final set, when they came at that 6-5 game in the changeover, we heard, like Nico told us on the call what he was, because we couldn't understand. He said, he told Tapia, we're going to come out, we're going to give everything we have, play max aggression, because what do we have to lose? We go to a tiebreak, and then let's see what happens then. 6-5, they break, they win the match, they win the tournament.
Clutch. It was very clutch. No, it was, and I think Lebrón and Augsburger are forcing Coello Tapia to play their best level of paddle. This is the second match now in a row where I'm seeing Coello Tapia bring their best level of paddle. The last time I saw Coello and Tapia have to play their best level of paddle was against Chingalan and Lebrón. With all due respect. With all due respect.
But
No,
to that point, Tapia after the match, he said, Lebrón and Augsburger are extremely dangerous for us. And
they're four heavyweight boxers. Like, they're afraid of the smash. They have no room for error. There's no space on the court where they can hide.
It's not only the smash, but you know,
it's because they're forced to be. They're forced to think like Leo Augsburger and Juan Lebrón, especially Juan Lebrón. Also, like with this creativity and variability of the game, he forces them to think and not to just always fall back on one specific thing. Chingalan maybe are a little bit more predictable, but yeah, I think that's what's the danger is that they're always thinking. They're always thinking.
They have to make them think and think fast because they're coming at them. They're not giving them even time to think. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't wait to talk about Lebrón and Augsburger in depth. But before we move on to them, you know, I spoke highly of Arturo Coello this match, but you guys said everyone was playing amazing. So Ismaeel, who was your MVP of the Cancún P2 tournament?
It's so hard to decide because I thought Tapia was incredible with his smashes. And every single clutch point, it felt like Tapia made a play. It really felt like he either had the smash or a perfect volley. But I have to give it to Arturo Coello because he was incredible. He was just incredible. He was unstoppable. He would not be denied today. 40 winners to 9 errors. 100% for me, it's Arturo, Yousef.
Haroon, who is it for you?
Yeah, I also have to agree. It has to be Arturo Coello. I felt that in some crucial moments, like Tapia was the X factor. He was the one that got them over the hump in some situations. But Arturo Coello is the one that that suffocated Lebrón and Augsburger. He's the one that made them draw a lot of errors from them. So he has to take a lot of credit for that and carrying a big load in that match. So it's Arturo Coello for me.
And you, Yousef?
Yeah, unanimous. I said everything I can say about Arturo Coello. I believe that this match is one of the best matches he's played in his life. It's that high praise for me. So Arturo Coello, unanimously, the MVP.
Makes sense.
Spectacular stuff. But you know, on the other side of the net, guys, and we spoke about them briefly, but it's time to get in depth. Lebrón and Augsburger going to their first final together as a pair. Only 3 tournaments into the season, and we have them in the Cancún P2 final. Ismaeel, your boys, is it time to up the LeBurger hype?
Yes, this, because I think we can all agree that Augsburger is allowing Lebrón to play his style of paddle that he wants to play, but his best paddle we've seen in many years now. And I think this is exactly what we need to see on tour, and this is exactly what it takes for them to get to the top of the mountain. And Lebrón doesn't have to think about, encouraging, his partner. He doesn't have to think about playing an alternative style of play that doesn't best match. He can also bring out his full creativity. He can also bring out the full repertoire of tactics and game plans that he wants to bring, because he knows that intuitively Augsburger next to him feels that style of play and knows exactly how he has to move in concurrence with Juan Lebrón. It's beauty. It's magical to watch them play right now. The chemistry is only improving. As long as Juan Lebrón is healthy, this is only going to get better and better because Augsburger is evolving. You can see he's starting to look more and more like a heavyweight champion that can compete with Coello and Tapia. I thought in that first tournament In their first match against Coello Tapia this year, he was intimidated a bit in the big moments. I did not feel that at all in this final today against Coello Tapia. I thought he was incredible on defense. He's still going to improve there. I thought they're understanding each other, how to move better, and when to attack and when to play a little bit more conservatively. And, you know, both of these players can smash from anywhere. And LeBron's going to have to trust Augsburger even more, because I thought on match point that they lost, Augsburger should have taken that smash and they would still be in it.
I disagree.
So it was, I think that Augsburger should be taking a little bit more of the smash load sometimes on certain points. But this is beautiful. They're on their way. They're on their way for the mountaintop. They really are. They really are. It's incredible.
I'm going to get back to that last point in the match, but Haroon, your thoughts. Leo Augsburger, Juan Lebrón, time to up that hype?
But so you guys all know I wasn't as high on LeBurger as you guys were. I thought they were exciting. I thought it's definitely super cool, but I wasn't really like, oh my God, this is gonna be crazy, and they're gonna definitely take down Coello and Tapia. And there were definitely concerns at the beginning of the year. There were exciting moments, but at the same time, they weren't able to perform when the lights were all on them, especially Augsburger. I thought there were problems with the chemistry, thought problems with who is the leader, they don't know how to mesh well, who's taking the main shot, what's the rhythm they're playing with. And I felt that there was a lot of great signs, especially in this tournament. I thought that, first of all, LeBron is now the clear leader of this of this team. LeBron is the one that controls. No, it wasn't. It was the clear leader. It wasn't. No, it wasn't clear. It wasn't clear because LeBron was looking sometimes a little bit iffy. He wasn't sure. Sometimes taking balls, he was really indecisive, which is something not very characteristic of Juan Lebrón. But LeBron is now the sole decider, like he's the leader. Also, everything flows through LeBron. He's the one that creates the game plan, and he assists Leo Augsburger. Also, he's enjoying the game. When's the last time you saw Juan Lebrón like really enjoying the game of padel, smiling and like feeling loose? And when he's feeling loose, that's really dangerous. And when he's feeling like, okay, this is the place that I like to be at, where he knows that he has a chance to become world number one, a chance to take down the big guys when he's putting pressure on them. I think that when he's having fun, then the sky's the limit, because we know how creative, how talented this guy is. So when he gets the chance to do so, it's super dangerous. So I think now I'm gonna get on the hype train a little bit more with LeBurger. I think Leo Augsburger also is learning to shine in the moment, to also when he has pressure on him to perform. So I like what I'm seeing. This Cancun tournament was really good for them.
Very big.
Yeah, so many points to consider here to what you guys said. First of all, that last game, that's on Leo Augsburger, by the way, because the forehand volley that he just hit in the middle of the glass, and then the smash that he hit por tres, which is not the smash you go for when Tapia is right there, and it was very easy to see.
It's so easy to say in hindsight.
I know, but no, when I was watching, I'm like, when he hit that smash, I'm like, that's not the one to hit. And then the last ball, because he felt, I think LeBron didn't know what Augsburger's doing. He had like in that point, he didn't know what was going on. He's like, oh my God, what's going on? He's coming my side, but that's right there for me to take. And then he hesitated for like a split second, and that was game, set, match. That was all she wrote. So that, I think in that game, LeBron was calm, Augsburger was not. But when you go back and look at what we saw from him in that first match in Riyadh and compared to what we saw from him in Cancun, I do believe that was a more mature mental player, and I believe he was playing at a much higher level, and he stayed composed in many more moments than he did in that match, even though that other one also went to a final set. So I absolutely love what I'm seeing. And another point, because you guys saying who's the leader? LeBron is the leader, okay?
He always was the leader.
I know, he is the leader, and that's clear. But Juan Lebrón is giving Leo Augsburger the freedom to be who he is, even as a teammate, because in one of the matches, I think it was the semifinal, and they were cruising. They were cruising the whole tournament. And like you said, Haroon, LeBron's having some fun. Leo told him, like, let's lock in. I think you're having too much fun. Lock in. And Lebrón took it in a very good way. He told him, yeah, you have a point, and they locked in. And there was no more smiling and joking around from Juan Lebrón. So that's him being the leader, but him also allowing Leo Augsburger to talk to him, because that's what a good leader does. You're able to let the person that follows you to be their person, and also to feel like they can talk to you when you feel like you need to be checked. And he checked him that way, which was special. So those are two things. And my last thing is, to me, like Juan Lebrón and Leo Augsburger, when I watch them play against Coello and Tapia, in comparison to watching them Chingalan play against Coello and Tapia, I feel like when I watch this team, even when they're down, I have hope that they can come back.
Yeah.
And with Chingalan, I feel like, guys, please come on, let's take the lead. Let's take the lead, because if once they break us, I feel like it's like, that's how I think as a fan watching. I feel like it's over. And then when I have belief inside, deep down, maybe I believe they can, but I don't truly believe it. But Leo Augsburger and Juan Lebrón, when they're up against Coello and Tapia and they're down a break, I'm like, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah,
they
100%.
have so many weapons to come back, and they do. And final set, they're down 3-love, and they come back. So that's the difference. And I believe that's why you should be very hyped about Lebrón and Augsburger, because they have the weapons to go toe-to-toe with Tapia and Coello, which you can't say for anyone else on tour.
By the way, don't forget that Coello and Tapia were serving for the first set, and they got broken.
Exactly, I'm telling you.
And because Lebrón and Augsburger, they not
broke
only
them at love.
They broke them at love because they have the game and the belief.
Exactly.
They're not afraid of Coello and Tapia,
Exactly.
and Lebrón is no longer afraid of Coello and Tapia. He doesn't have to think too much. He can just play. It's all coming together.
Yeah.
It's all coming together. And also about your point about the semifinal, I love the fact that they cruised all the way to the final.
Yeah.
Like that's Chingalan style that they did all the way to the final.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to see, because they had a hiccup in Cancun. And so, like, if they can consistently put on these performances, not only against the big boys, but against also the rest of the guys, it's gonna be very dangerous.
You know, last point before we move on, Coello and Tapia, probably, like, they absolutely hate what's going on right now, because during some conditions they used to have Chingalan, and then when we have certain conditions, we have no one that can challenge us. But now they have their contrasting play styles, Lebrón and Augsburger and Chingoto and Galan.
Very different.
So whenever you're in these conditions, you're going to get Chingoto and Galan at their best. And when you're in the other conditions, you're going to get Lebrón and Augsburger at their best. So they have no break. And Coello and Tapia, to be able to go to 18 consecutive finals and do what they're doing, we are not giving them the credit they deserve, because it's absolutely mind-blowing.
It's nonsense.
But, you know, another title for them, and amazing what we're seeing from Lebrón and Augsburger. I can't wait. Miami's just around the corner. So many exciting stories that we need to follow.
It's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun. And you let us know, what did you guys think about Lebrón and Augsburger's performance? And who is your MVP? Yeah. Let us know in the comments, and subscribe. It means a lot to us. Wow, that was an epic final.
Yeah. We
just saw maybe one of the most historic tournament runs we've ever seen in Premier Padel history. Haroon, your boys, Sanyo and Gonza, who you said would make a splash this year, had an incredible run all the way to the semifinals. What were your thoughts about your boys?
So I said the splash. I said they're going to play the Barcelona Masters tournament in the end. They're going to play the tour finals, and right now they are in the top. They're top 16 players. They are a team that deserves to be there. They earned it. They have the points in the race. They're there. So if we play the Barcelona Masters tomorrow, they will be there. So
they're also breaking up.
It's a shame they're going to break up. So we won't get to see it.
After 3 tournaments, your prediction was correct.
Oh my
but
God.
like,
That's
come on, man. Like. Yeah. This was an epic run. They beat Maxi Sanchez and Jose Jimenez in straights. They beat Bergarido in straights, which were a team we were really high on, me and Yousef. They beat Chingalan, which is a team, Yousef, you have ending the year as world number ones in straights, making it to semi-final. Sanyo Gonza is in his 40s. He's a legend of the sport, but he's in his 40s. 42. The guy was born in 1984. He's in 1984. Like, we're talking about guys born in 2006, 7, 8, and 9 playing on tour right now. He's 1984 beating the team that was this close, that was one match away from becoming world number ones. Come on, this was unbelievable. Like, this is crazy. Gonza also showing that he has the talent and skill to move from A1 to play a Premier Padel on the biggest stages and beat the best players in the world. what an epic run. Like, it's a fun team to root for. The old guy that a legend of the sport, but now he's moving on, that he doesn't have the juice anymore. A guy that nobody thinks that they don't, not as respected as coming from a different tour, from a different place, and coming out and beating the best players like that. Isn't that what you love? Isn't that what we love about sports in general, but also this? And doing it in straights also. So that's not just like in convincing fashion.
Incredible.
Amazing.
It was incredible. It was incredible. It was incredible to run Yousef all the way.
That is why we love sports on own. And Sanyo Gutierrez is a true inspiration to anyone. And, you know, this Cancun P2, ever since the first point that was played, this tournament was going to be about resilience. This was going to be about who is going to be able to overcome and deal with the conditions the best and not give themselves any excuses in any point to win matches. Because the wind was crazy. It was gusting. You had no chance to play the paddle that you want to play. And who was able to adapt the best to these conditions? The best of the best. And you know who's also the best of us? Sanyo Gutierrez. Because Birgarido, by the way, they struggled in that match. Sanyo Gutierrez was an absolute magician. And not doing crazy shots, but knowing how to deal with every single piece. Like he was a master. Dealing with how the wind is moving, how much the wind on each side, how much is the wind blowing. And in that match against Chingalan, watch how in the world he put the shackles on Alejandro Galan, even though he's not playing cross court against him, because he made him move so much. He removed the smash from all his, like that arsenal. He removed that smash completely. He removed vibras. He reduced Galan into someone who just taps the ball back. He gave him nothing to work with. And Gonza, like you said, Haroon, was spectacular. But Sanyo, to me, was the mastermind that match. And for him to be able to overcome the conditions better than these other guys with much less weapons in his arsenal at this age, it was really historic. And for him to say that it's up there with the World Cup win, with becoming world number one, says enough. 42 years of age, Ismaeel. And he takes down Galan, who had just won the Cancun P2. Truly spectacular stuff.
Yeah, it was amazing. And the fact that he also said earlier in the week that paddle should be an indoor sport. And then after he just had one of those iconic runs and managing the conditions better than anyone, arguably all tournament.
That's the
because of his resilience, because of his mental fortitude, and because of his savviness.
Yeah.
Like, if you are a more savvy, talented, tactically smart player, you manage the conditions better, and then you can get these epic wins. So that's why I was genuinely shocked when he made that statement.
And to that point, Smile, because remember when Lucas Bergamini, and when we were watching the new Giza P2, the conditions were tough, right? And we're watching the match, they can't smash, they can't do anything. And in the court, when we're watching, like, okay, they're just playing the match. And when he came out to talk to us, what did he say? He said, the courts are tough. I can't do anything. We can't smash. We have to play so many balls. He started to complain. But when, after the match was done, and that's like that, to me, that was an example of what makes them professionals. You can complain outside, but you deal with what you can.
Why are you complaining though? Because you just had an epic run. Like, you should want more of these conditions.
I know.
Like, because you are an amazing player. You don't need to be
But once the point starts, they don't complain.
Yeah, obviously.
And that's the difference.
He's a former world number one. He's one of the GOATs. Many of our interview guests called him their GOAT.
Yeah.
So
Nico and Gonza called them the GOAT.
So that's obviously for a reason. And it was incredible performance. I'm not sure if anyone will have such an amazing victory at that age. At 42 years of age, I don't know if we're ever going to see something like that again, honestly. So that was really incredible.
Yeah, it was definitely incredible. How about something not as incredible, guys? The Chingalan loss. So was this Chingalan loss a concerning one? Yousef, what are your thoughts about this?
No, there's so many factors that affected the outcome of this match. And, you know, first of all, coming off the high of winning Cancun and then coming into this tournament. By the way, in their first match against Barahona and Garcia, and Garcia, they weren't the best. They weren't the best. And they were down 3-11 in the second set, and they dug deep. And I'm like, Chingalan don't look like they're playing their best paddle right now. And Coello and Tapia have convinced us and Chingalan that you're supposed to make the final of every single tournament. We need to disregard the fact that you need to travel halfway across the world. We need to disregard the conditions, the fact that the fatigue, all that. No, I'm not concerned whatsoever. Going into the Miami P2, if anything, Miami P1, actually, going into this tournament where they have to defend their the points, This actually might be a good thing for them because they got an extra break before going on to a back-to-back tournament. So no, I'm not concerned whatsoever about Chingalan.
Ismaeel, are you concerned about this Chingalan loss or what?
Well, the silver lining is like Yousef saying, it's a couple extra days of rest before going into the Miami P1, which will definitely serve them, and especially after Lebrón, Augsburger, Coello Tapia just had an absolutely grinding final. That's going to definitely take a lot of their juice out of their legs. But I'm a bit concerned.
Why?
Because it was a bad loss. Like, yeah, Sanyo was amazing. It was incredible. But I still expect them to find a way to overcome.
They had a bad day.
Yeah, sure. Bad day, but not a good loss. I'd say it was.
Is it concerning?
It's a bad loss. I don't know how concerning it is from the future, but it's it wasn't. I thought they should have managed better. They're so good. They're such great champions.
Hats off to Sanyo.
It's not a big concern, Haroon, for me, but a small concern because I expect them to overcome conditions and. I expect their level to be better than Gonza.
Then Haroon, do you agree with him or me?
No, I don't think I agree with you, Yousef. I don't think it's a concerning one. So even the best of us, we lose before making a final. So last year in 2025, like Chingalan had 2 quarterfinals, and the rest were just either semis, finals, or winning the tournament. So this is also not real. So like they lost their quarterfinal in Madrid, the P1, which Augsburger and Dineno turned out to winning that tournament. They lost the quarterfinal before that was in the beginning of the year in Riyadh in February to Overreaction. So these were they were actually good losses. So they don't really lose easily. Somebody has to come up with a spectacular level. It also has to be a fairy tale run. And the conditions also weren't so great. So it's not like something like, what can we take away from this? The conditions weren't easy. So it's not like even if they won, like they can't build off of that other than just mental strength. That's not like favorable conditions for anybody. So I'm not concerned.
Sanyo also they might have put like some kind of template for how to play them. And so that's why it's minorly concerning. Like if someone can do what Sanyo did, and what you talked about, shackling up Galan.
Because of the conditions. They didn't allow him. Like, the way he was lobbing him, the way he was forcing him to hit bajadas, and not even tough bajadas. Like, it was spectacular from Sanyo, honestly.
Yeah, but that takes... Because they're not able to do they're not able to unleash all of their weapons that they do on a day-to-day basis. So I think that was the reason. It's a style of play that's only coming in certain scenarios, but it's not like a style of play that can be used to beat Chingalan.
Fair. I'm just saying minor concern, not much.
Yeah. Well, guys, let us know. Who are you with on this one? Is this a concerning loss for Chingoto and Galan, or is this not a concerning one? Let us know in the comments. And please don't forget to subscribe. It means so much to us.
Yes, guys, please subscribe. And now, I have a very exciting question because this is a team I'm really excited to see in 2026, which is Tolito and Arroyo. Can we expect more from this team? Ismaeel, what do you think?
I think we all know Tolito has the talent to go all the way if he wants. And Arroyo also, low-key, super talented, super powerful player. And this was very, very impressive, even if you want to say the conditions were unique. But to down Paquito and Fran Guerrero the way they did in 3 sets, and then to dominate Stupa and Yanguas, and then to play Coello Tapia really well, I thought, force a tiebreak, I thought was very, very impressive. I think, Haroon, we can expect more from them. Like if Tolito, he's looking like he has the stamina, he has the game plan to execute tactically because he's so talented. He can do different tactics now, and now he's feeling the match play and the style better. And if Arroyo can build the confidence, because he would feel the pressure I felt a lot in big moments. So if this can come together, I think this team can cause problems. Yes, I really do.
They had spectacular wins, Yousef. What did you think of it?
Haroon, I think this may be like top 3 most talented teams we have on tour. And that's not an exaggeration. These 2 guys are supremely talented. And when it comes to Alex Arroyo, I think mentally he just has, like we saw what happened in that match. But Arroyo has it. And he showed us not only one match, because we've seen him do that in one match, but he did it back-to-back Then no, I would say half to back with the Coello Tapia. That first set, second set started to go haywire. But overall, that was amazing. And Tolito, we can see how much he's been working on himself since last year in Cancun. Go back and look. He's lost so much weight. He's gotten into much better conditioning. He's
stronger.
He's stronger. He's gaining confidence this entire these last 365 days, and he's only going to improve. So I love what I've been seeing from Tolito Aguirre and Alex Arroyo. I just need, if we can just fix some of that stuff mentally.
It's confidence. He needs confidence, and these wins build the confidence.
And obviously, the confidence does wonders. And I believe this team is capable of doing things. Let's see if they can continue. But if you tell me Tolito and Arroyo, they can do special things and they can take down top players, yeah, I believe they can. They're a very dangerous team, Haroon.
Yeah, I love this. And I think we should be expecting more from them because Arroyo's been banging on the door. He's kind of like, he shows the energy that he thinks that he deserves to be in the top. And Tolito is talented and showing that he's showing. We all know that he's super talented, but now he's showing that he's putting in the work, that he wants to, improve his fitness, improve his stamina, and also show that he has a consistency level to play kind of a boring game and not always go for trick shots, which you have to respect. And like beating Frank Guerrero and Paquito is a huge win. Like that's a big win. It's like they are, to me, a top 5 team. I had them ending the year top 5. So to beat them like that in an epic 3-set battle and then beat Stupa and Yanguas in straights, come on, man. Like these are really big wins and statements. Hopefully they build off of them. And I think we should expect more from them.
Yeah, I love their mentality. You know what I love about this entire Cancun tournament? Because last year, we had the boycott and lots of these guys weren't there. Tolito had so many points to defend and Gonza had so many points to defend. And they came out and they made statements. Gonza made a statement with what he did with Sanyo. And Tolito made the statement with Arroyo. And also Lebrón made the statement doing what he did with Augsburger, winning the tournament. So it was nice to see those guys be so successful this entire week.
Definitely.
By the way, just also to note here, Tolito and Arroyo are now at the rank 13. So in the race, they're 13 right now. So again, if they would play the Barcelona Masters Tour Finals tomorrow, they would be there. So they're a top 18, which is some good stuff for them. Hopefully they keep it up.
Yeah. Let's see how the season ends. But that was interesting, guys. But there are a few teams that there are question marks on them. So we're gonna do a new segment, an interesting segment. And I'm going to ask you, should we blow it up or should we stick it out if you're on this team, okay? I'm going to give you names of players and you guys let me know. Should they blow it up? Should they stick it out? Okay? Let's do it, Haroon.
Let's go.
First up, Momo Gonzalez and Martin Dineno. Blow it all the way up or stick this one out?
Blow that all the way up. Like they're both right-sided players. They both play that same style. This is a super aggressive era that we're living in. It needs more firepower, more juice. I respect Momo Gonzalez and Martin Dineno, but we need to blow this up right now.
Ismaeel.
Yeah, no, we need to blow it up. I mean, it never made sense from the beginning, but neither can find a better player, so that's why they're stuck together. But if Dineno gets a call, he's bouncing, and I expect Momo to do the same.
Yeah, I think it's time to blow this one all the way up. I do have someone for Momo, by the way, and he's a lefty.
Okay.
Maxi Arce, man. Okay. I think he could be a great teammate to Momo Gonzalez. We saw what he was doing with John Sanz. Then Haroon, Paquito Navarro and Fran Guerrero. Blow it all the way up or stick together?
No, stick it out. I think this is a great team, and they just need to, get used to each other a bit more. A few tournaments. We're still early in the season. No, stick it out because I think they're going to be doing great things.
Ismaeel.
I think, Yousef, I'm starting to question the chemistry of this team. I think they're complementary players because Fran is a little bit more aggressive on the right, and that's what Paquito needs at this stage in his career. But one more bad loss and it might be time to consider moving. So I'm going to say stick it out for now, but one more bad loss and they should be seriously thinking about it.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I say stick it out. Also, Paquito's saying I want to continue and end the season with one partner. My questioning for this entire partnership is Frank Guerrero going to allow that to happen? Because Paquito's not that easy. But I'm going to say stick it out for now. Then last one, Ismaeel. Franco Stupachuk and Mike Yanguas. Blow it all the way up or stick it out?
No, I think they should stick it out. I think this team, they have a lot of experience playing together. They won together before. They won the new Giza P2 before, not so long ago, and they know they have good chemistry. It hasn't looked so good so far, to be fair, but it's still very early in the season. I'm going to say stick it out.
Haroon.
Yeah, I'm borderline, but I think stick it out. They're both smart players, and they're both, like seasoned veterans, I think, even though Mike Yangos is a bit younger. But I think stick it out a bit. If they had a good result in Gijón, they made a semifinal also Coello Tapia, so they're doing good so far. Tolito and Arroyo played the match of their life. I think they stick it out a bit, but if a few more bad losses, I think they should blow it up.
Yeah, as it stands, I say stick it out. I do have some options for some of these guys, but for now, I'm going to say, stick together. It's hard to pull through. Let's see what you guys can do in Miami. The conditions in Miami favor both of them.
Yeah, so we should expect a big tournament from them there.
Yes, we should.
It's going to be a fun tournament, and we're going to preview that in a moment. However, in the meantime, we had a fun tournament on the women's side too. Yousef, Gemma Triay and Delphi Brea going home as champions again. Yeah. They downed your new favorite team, should I say, Bea and Paula?
They're not my
You're big on them.
I'm a Stero Sanchez guy.
Yeah, but you were big on Bea and Paula coming into the season.
I'm big on Bea.
And they downed them in convincing fashion.
Yes.
Your thoughts on what we saw?
Gemma Triay and Delphi Brea keep reminding me ever since that win that they had in Gijón is they are mentally superior. They are proven champions. And every time they face adversity, they seem to take it in the best way possible. And they were waiting for the tide to turn. And the tide eventually turned. And it turned in Gijón. And we can see what it has done in Cancun. And I don't know who's going to stop them because they look like they're back to where they were when they were completely dominant in 2025. And Gemma Triay was spectacular this match. I believe she decided I'm going to be the best player on the court from the first point to the last point. And this new team of Bea and Paula, and everyone's hyping them up. I'm not.
You were hyping them up.
I know. She's not going to have. She's not going to have none of it. She's not going to have any of it. And I loved what I saw from Gemma Triay this entire match. And Delphi was an amazing Robin to Gemma's Batman this tournament, and especially that final. But, to me, the conclusion is just mentally resilient, mentally tough, insanely clutch. That's what I saw from them this match and this tournament.
Haroon, your thoughts? You are so high on Bea and Paula coming in.
Yeah, as champions.
I still am. I think that they are building something here, slowly going to the top. They made it to final here, so they look good. But Gemma Triay and Delphi Brea feels like they kind of unlock something. They were this losing streak in the finals that they were having, or 6 consecutive finals losing. I think that was playing with their minds a bit, and they were starting to lose a little bit of confidence. I think that when they unlock that, they maybe now loose and they can feel confident again. They can feel like the dominant world number ones, and they were unstoppable this whole entire tournament, especially in the final. So that they were really great. I thought both of them, Delphi Brea and Gemma Triay, were extremely clutch, and they were so solid as they always are. But now that they're not having this hump or this I don't know, thing that's hovering over their body or hovering over their heads, where it's making them feel a little bit pressure. They're now playing a little bit more loose and relaxed. And Bea and Paolo were the ones a little bit more stressed. They're feeling like they have to win. And and I think that maybe hopefully when that gets unlocked, then we're gonna get even spicier matchup there. But Delphi Brea and Gemma Triay were unbelievable this time.
Well, I told you guys, Gemma and Delphi, they're champions. And I was never in doubt of their abilities at all, even after they didn't win those 5 finals in a row. And I think they're a class above, to be honest, above Bea and Paula. I think Gemma is so composed. She's so tactically sound. She knows how to play Bea the way that she wants. She controls the pace. And I think Delphi is just incredible. She's so creative. I don't think at all that Paula Jose Maria can really bother her enough. And I think the chemistry with Gemma and Delphi is improving as they keep monopolizing winning, as Haroon likes to say. So they're only looking better and better. And Bea and Paula, the more they don't win tournaments, I think the more nerve-wracking it becomes for them. And the more tense they will become. So concerned about them actually going forward. And it's not getting easier for them. And Gemma and Delphi, they're in cruise control right now. They really are. And I don't think they fear any specific team other than Ari and Ostero, to be honest. And so let's see how that plays out. But
we'll see.
Let's see how it goes. In the meantime, Yousef, who was your MVP of this final on the women's side?
It has to be the woman that I have been praising since the beginning of this segment. Gemma Triay is 1,000% the MVP of this tournament and of that final match. She was spectacular. She was clutch. She was GOAT level paddle. Like, she was playing at GOAT level paddle in this entire tournament. So, Gemma Triay for me, man.
Haroon, who's your MVP?
Yeah, I agree. I think she was a leader. She was the leader this tournament, and especially in this match as well. And she was, showing why she always has been on the top of the game. And it was a fantastic performance from her. So she's my MVP.
Yeah, I have to back you guys here. Definitely, Gemma Triay is my MVP. 32 winners to 11 unforced errors. Incredible performance, like you said. Gemma is my MVP for sure.
Interesting, the tournament gave the MVP to Delphi Brea, which I feel like that was weird.
I mean, she was amazing, but she was not better than Gemma.
No, she wasn't.
It wasn't more crucial, in my opinion.
We need to know. Guys, let us know who you think was the MVP of the women's P2 Cancun tournament. And subscribe if you haven't. It means so much to us. Well, time for my favorite segment of every episode, and that is Overreaction or Not. I'm going to tell you guys something based on what happened this week, and you let me know. Is this an overreaction? Is it not? Let's do it.
Let's go.
Haroon, first up. LeBurger versus Coello Tapia is more exciting than El Clásico, which is Coello Tapia versus Chingalan. Overreaction or not?
Okay, it's not an overreaction. I think it is slightly more exciting right now because all the players on the field can do everything, and all of them can come up with any shot at any single time. So I think that makes it a little bit more exciting because you don't know what's going to happen next. So I think, it's a little bit more exciting, but I don't want to go too much.
Way more exciting. It's not even close. I told you from the beginning of this year, this is going to be the match to look forward to in every tournament. Every match has gone to a final set. We've had tie breaks in many sets. Maximum drama. 4 heavyweight boxers. You never know what's going to happen next. Max creativity. So much more exciting, Yousef. So much more exciting.
Yeah, this is a unanimous, not an overreaction. When I'm watching the match, I'm like, this is insane.
Peak paddle.
This is insane. You know, and Chingalan, no disrespect to them, but Chingo doesn't provide the wow factor that Lebrón and Augsburger provide. So that's why I'm going to go, this is not an overreaction.
Agreed. Next
one, Ismaeel. Bea Gonzalez and Paulo Jose Maria should find new partners soon. Overreaction or not?
Well, I've been a bit salty about this team because of how they both ditched their partners. And so I'm saying this is not an overreaction. 1 or 2 more losses, and they better start taking calls because it's only going to get more and more pressure. Because right now they're showing that they're not a match for the world's best, and their losses are not even that competitive so far. So I'm saying they might have to take calls soon.
Haroon.
This is a wild overreaction. Of course not. Of course they should not fight new partners anytime soon. They should stick it out the whole year because these are 2 supremely talented players, and they just need to figure it out. So
I hope
massive.
they ditch each other the way they ditched their former partners.
Massive. That's the game. That's how everybody does it. That's how everybody's been doing it.
Okay. I'm gonna call overreaction, but I don't see the chemistry I want to see from a team. Like, it just feels off. It does not feel like a team. I didn't see that. Like, Bea and Delphi was special. Bea and Claudio was special. It feels off to me. But I'm gonna say, stick with it because you guys put yourself in that hole. You're gonna have to keep digging. So they're gonna stick together. But I'm not a big fan of what I've been seeing so far.
Welcome to the club.
Next up, Haroon. Padel must never get rid of outdoor tournaments. Overreaction or not?
Not an overreaction. We need some outdoor tournaments, even though I am somebody that loves to say that we need to have more indoor tournaments because I think Padel is much more fun indoors. But outdoors is also fun. If it's a more controlled environment, it's also nice to have fun. But conditions like Cancun, where it was super crazy like that, no.
Ismaeel, overreaction or not?
This is an absolute not an overreaction because I love the outdoor tournaments. Give me the craziest conditions possible. I love watching football in the snow or in the rain. I love to see how players handle the adversity. I want to see crazy upsets. I want to see crazy results. I want to see who's mentally tougher. I want to see something new. Yeah. I don't want to see the same thing over and over. So absolutely, I love this. I loved how crazy the wind was. It actually didn't bother me at all. I found it fascinating.
Yeah. I'm saying this is not an overreaction. Also, I love these outdoor tournaments, like you're saying, and the fact that like you have to deal with the conditions. Stop as a professional player. Stop asking me to remove conditions. Like
you're not a house cat.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to adapt. I know, Haroon, you disagree. I know. We know we had this discussion before, but I'm on the other side this time. I think this is not an overreaction. Outdoor tournaments add so much juice and spice and stories that we need in this sport. Then last but not least, Haroon, Stupa or Paquito should call Maxi RC ASAP. Overreaction or not?
Overreaction because I don't think it should be ASAP. I think maybe Stupa could do it in a bit. Not Paquito. I think Paquito is fine with Frank Guerrero. But yeah, maybe Stupa had some nice flashes when he played with Maxi RC. He was feeling like they were an exciting team. But Mag Yangos is also supremely talented as well. So slight overreaction because I don't think this should happen soon. Maxi RC is a great player, but no, don't break up these teams.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to call overreaction on this. I think Maxi RC is an incredible talent.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's aggressive enough to play next to either of those players. I think they need aggression, not just a pure lefty, but more aggression. I don't think Maxi RC necessarily provides that. And I think they have good partners next to them that provide what they need, respectively. So I'm calling overreaction.
So the question is, do you want someone next to you that is going to give Arturo Coello so many problems? If the answer is no, then fine, don't call Maxi RC. But if the answer is yes, then you call Maxi RC. How many players do you know that have taken Arturo Coello and Tapia to a final set in every match they played this year?
Yeah,
Lebrón and Augsburger, Maxi RC and Pablo Lijo. Nobody else, because that's how good Maxi RC is, because I told you Coello struggles with the lefties. Momo, pick up the phone. Stupa, pick up the phone. Paquito, pick up the phone. Whoever picks up the phone first is going to get an amazing partner, an amazing player right by their side. Let's see if that happens. I know lots of fans, people in the TSH Padel community are hyped on Maxi RC. I am too. Let's see if someone makes the call. But I'm going to say this is not an overreaction. You must call Maxi RC if you're a player like that.
Sure, Yousef. I mean, but we have to give credit to Pablo Lijo as well. It wasn't just Maxi RC on his own.
Pablo Lijo is spectacular. I love Pablo Lijo. Pablo Lijo to me is one of the most underrated players we have on the tour. And this team should not... They were playing qualies last tournament, by the way, Pablo Lijo and Maxi RC. And that should not be happening. They continue. They always go up and they eventually play Coello and Tapia. And I love this team and I hope they continue together. But Maxi RC is probably going to get a call because lefties are so rare and they provide you a big advantage when you go up against the big dogs.
Yeah, but no one's going to call him because of his ranking.
Which is a shame, Ismaeel. It's an absolute shame.
Especially not Super Paquito.
Which is an absolute shame.
They're definitely not going to call him.
I need some of these guys to decide to have some courage and take a player and ride with them.
Yeah, he's not going to get a call from anyone higher than Juan Esbri right now. And so, but maybe Esbri and RC. Maybe that you can hope for that. That's all we're going to get for now.
Anyways. Guys, that was the Overreaction Not segment. Let us know what you think. Who are you with? Who are you not with? And please, if you haven't, subscribe. It means so much to us.
Well, guys, we have a stacked tournament to look forward to. We have the Miami P1 coming to you. Then the US. We're going to the US. Growing market in Padel. The draw is stacked. We have LeBurger and Coello Tapia on the same side. So we might get another matchup again there. We also got Chingalan and Yanguas also on the same side as well. Pablo Cardona finally back after 8 months of injury because he went through a lot of changes and a lot of things that he had to think about. Well, we're glad he's back. He's back with Javi Leal. Ismaeel, your thoughts?
Well, the draw is looking amazing. I can't wait. I hope we get to see Coello Tapia against LeBurger again. But the draw is already looking good for Chingalan, to be fair. But sneaky quarterfinal, Koki and John Sanz against Lebrón Augsburger in the quarterfinal. Yeah. That could be a big
slower
hiccup.
conditions. Miami P1 is going to be indoors. So.
That's going to be a very tough match for them. I think that's going to be a big test.
Yeah.
A big test for them.
Well, Chingalan were the defending champs because these are the conditions that they love. And, Coello and Tapia lost last year, but asterisk next to their name because we know Tapia had that hand injury where he wasn't able to hit anything. He said, I have to hit 15 bandejas to win a point. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with a healthy Tapia in the draw and LeBurger going high off confidence. And, maybe Pablo Lijo and Maxi Arce, they might do something, by the way, to maybe upset. We might see upsets again. And, and also Stupa and Yanguas against Chingoto and Galan, if they make it to the semifinals and they face each other, that could be a very interesting matchup. And I think
I hope so. I hope Yanguas can give a better fight than he did last time.
Those 4 guys, they went early to Miami, so they had the rest. They got used to the conditions. So if they don't make it all the way to the semifinals, both of these teams, it would be a disappointment in my book.
And another sneaky match potentially happening in the round of 16 is Tino Libak and Choses against Chingalan.
Yeah, that's a nice
And I want to see if Libak is going to bring out his alpha and dominate against Chingoto.
I need my boy to get a big win. Like the same way Tolito and Arroyo got a big win and Sanyo and Gonza. I need my boy to get a big win.
I'm keeping my eye out for this match because I think if Tino is on his game, and you keep saying he's going to be back,
Yeah.
he needs to have a big win. This is a chance for him to show his worth.
It is. Yeah.
It's a good chance.
He had a great tournament in Cancun. They were good match.
But like you said, don't be surprised if Cardona and Leal are able to do something.
Yeah, Cardona and Leal also, they're going to... it's going to be exciting to see Cardona back on the tour. They're friends, so they have the chemistry.
Yeah.
They're going to get Paquito Fren quite early if they are able to win their first match. So
Paquito Fren have Lijo Arce. So
tough. That quarter of the draw is actually very, very spicy.
Yeah, fun tournament ahead.
Yeah. Very, very, very fun.
Well,
and if so, you might see Maxi Arce against Coello Tapia again. They go all the way to the quarters.
Let's see.
Yeah. Well, guys, you let us know what you think. You let us know what matchups you're excited for, and give us some predictions what you think is going to happen in this Miami P1.
Yeah. And, we like to keep it 100 on this show and let you know where we were right and where we were wrong. Let's start off with where we were wrong. On the women's side, Yousef, you had Ari Sanchez and Ustero. They fell short this tournament.
Upset
in the quarters. Haroon, you had Brea and Paula. They still haven't showed us that they have the stuff.
They have not.
Where we were right, I told you guys, Gemma and Delphi.
Well done.
You can count on them right now. They're the team to beat.
Well done.
On the men's side, where we were wrong. Haroon, you had Chingalan. Wrong there. Me, I had LeBurger. I was wrong there.
You were close.
Close. They're getting there.
Yeah.
They're getting there. But I told you they'd make the final.
Yeah, well done.
And where we were right, Yousef, you had Coello Tapia. Well done there.
I told you they were going to bounce back. No one bounces back like Coello and Tapia.
Yeah, I think we should have all taken that cue after seeing them lose in Gijon. We should have all taken Coello Tapia.
I thought it was obvious, but I guess it wasn't.
It's pretty obvious.
Well, Miami P1, quick turnaround here. Time to make some picks, guys. Let's see if you can right those wrongs. Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's rock and roll, baby.
Haroon, Miami P1. All the women are going to be there. It's going to be, I guess, a chance for Bea and Paula to make that statement. Gemma and Delphi maybe go back to back to back. Ostero and Sanchez, maybe they can find their way back to title town. Who do you have winning the Miami P1 on the women's side?
I'm going for Bea and Paula Jose Maria again. I'm going for Bea Gonzalez and Paula Jose Maria again. I'm going to keep on going. And I'm getting closer and closer. Closer and closer.
I hope they lose. I'm so salty about this team. I'm so glad they're not winning. And I hope you keep betting on them.
I can't not bet on talented players.
Yeah, no, sure. They're not the team. I'm going to go with Gemma and Delphi again because I'm so high on this team. They're so dominant. They look like they're a class above. There's only one team that's truly been capable of challenging them this year, Yousef. Yeah. And I'm going to go with Gemma and Delphi again.
Yeah. Haroon's nice because even a broken clock can strike twice. So that's what you're going with. And Ismaeel, you're going with back to back to back. Well, how about this? I'm going to go with the team that I absolutely love. I fell in love with them since the moment I saw them play in Riyadh. Let me go Ostero and Sanchez again.
Yeah,
and awesome I think they can, with that early exit, that means they move to Miami quick, and maybe they can take this one home.
Awesome team. Awesome team.
On the men's side, very interesting. The Miami P1, so many points on the line. Chingalan, can they defend their throne? Coello and Tapia, can they add more points to their crazy tally already? Haroon, who do you have winning the Miami P1 on the men's side?
Oh, this is a team that you should not bet against them when they lose earlier than usual. So last time Chingalan lost in the quarterfinals in Madrid, they came back and they made it to the finals in Paris and in the Paris Major where they were playing lights out. Unfortunately, they couldn't get over the hump and win that Paris Major title, but they were unbelievable. The time before that, where they lost in the quarters, was against Augsburger in Riyadh. The next tournament, they won the Miami P1. So I'm going for Chingalan because Chingalan is a team you don't want to bet against after they lose early because they study and they come play with a vengeance. So I'm going for Chingalan, guys, to lift the title. I went for them. I'm going to go for Chingalan again. I went for them. In Cancun.
Wait, go for them in Gijón. In Gijón, where I picked it correctly. Well, Ismaeel, what are you going with?
Chingalan definitely has a clear road to the title, but I'm going to back the champions who are monopolizing winning, and their talent and their tactics and their mental resolve is better than anyone on tour right now. I just saw their best level of paddle in Cancun. I'm not betting against them. I'm going for Coello Tapia.
Well done. Well done.
What are you going with?
I'm going to go with a team that has been knocking on the door. And knocking on the door. And they continue to knock on that door. And by the way, that doorknob keeps squeaking. It keeps moving. And I'm going to go with the team that has decided that they are going to be the biggest threat to Coello.
Let's go. Let's
Give
go.
me Juan Lebrón and Leo Augsburger
Let's go.
as the champions of the Miami P1.
I would love to see it. It would fill my heart with joy.
You know, I was going to go Chingalan, Haroon. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. You decided to go with them. You decided to pick them. We need Lebrón and Augsburger to win a tournament soon. And if it happens in Miami, that's the perfect scenario.
It's going to be awesome if they do it in Miami. It means that they're arriving on the big stage in conditions that don't necessarily favor them, with a slightly slower.
But Ismaeel's not going for them.
In Miami.
Ismaeel's not picking them. You're picking them, Yousef, over Ismaeel.
I had to pick them. I had to pick up his slack. And because he decided to quit Coello and Tapia, I had to go with LeBurger.
I don't expect them to maintain that level yet. Like they saw.
They lost.
Amazing in Riyadh,
They
dip in
lost.
Gijón. Amazing in Cancun, maybe baby dip coming in Miami.
Let's see.
But I hope you're right.
It's a fun pick, you know.
It's a fun.
And
very
let's see
fun
how
pick.
it turns out.
It's very fun. I hope you're right. I would rather you be right than me this week. That would be awesome. So I'm all in. I'm all in for your pick.
Yeah.
Well, you guys let us know, who do you have winning the Miami P1? And what do you think about our overreactions? Which side are you on? And in the meantime, go check out our recent interview with Otro Neville, Sven Bule. We just had an awesome conversation. If you're looking to up your game, so many interesting gems there about how to think about paddle in a better way. Your paddle IQ is going to shoot through the roof. And if you like that, go check out our other interview with Coach David Howe. Combine those and you're going to become a paddle guru. So many cool insights you're going to enjoy and learn from there. In the meantime, we'll see you next week right after the Miami P1.
Vamos, vamos, vamos! Vamos, vamos, vamos!